Welcome back. Okay, I brought both chefs back because we want to talk a little bit about some ideas for those ways to lighten up your dishes when, you know, like I am, sort of tired of the same old, same old. Sometimes I get to talking and I forget to get what's important out there. And I do want to remind everyone, if you're in the Toledo area, Restaurant Week is coming up the 24th of February through March 2nd, and it's for a good cause, Leadership Toledo. If you're in the area, definitely come out to one of our local restaurants. And if you aren't in the area, Restaurant Weeks is a great fundraiser. I mean, it works two ways. You get people to come to the local restaurants, get more customers, introduced to new restaurants, but then you're also helping a good cause.
Absolutely.
So a win.
And I'd like to plug in really quick that
Yes.
it's also brought to you by Medical Mutual, which is important in our area here. So,
It is.
you know.
Well, and that's a good reason why we're also lightening up and making kind of an effort to have that healthy dish. Because I will say, I'm always on a diet. I'm always struggling with what should I eat and what shouldn't I eat, but I want to go out to eat. So you both have options at your restaurants. It doesn't have to be a diet fail when you go in. So when you're taking a dish and you're offering some things, giving people a variety, what do you take a dish and how do you create it in a way that's less bad for my waistline?
Well, you know, being Italian, I mean, I guess for one, there's, lots of options as far as, vegetables and, keeping our portion sizes smaller, for example, staying away from, heavy things like cream and butter and sticking more to, like the fish dishes, for example, and, good quality olive oils and things like that, that add a lot of flavor without a lot of caloric content.
Do you, as a chef, get offended if I say I want a double vegetable and I don't want the potato this time? I want a double.
Not at all. Not
it's
at
okay.
All. Absolutely not. No.
I hate to make people mad.
I feel that part of being, a chef of a restaurant is sometimes, it might go against, what you want to do, but ultimately the customer is the most important person, so you got to cater to their needs, and that's what we consider ourselves a yes restaurant at Mancy's.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right, so how about the same kind of question to you when you're
Sure.
taking a dish and you're, thinking about someone who, I'm always counting my portions and this and that, but I'm not the only one. We've got people with diabetes out there, gluten issues.
Absolutely.
What stays in your head?
I always try to have options for people with dietary restrictions, whether it's because we see a lot more allergies right now, a lot more dietary restrictions, people who are eating gluten-free or dairy-free, a vegetarian. We always have vegetarian and vegan options on our menu. But then also just kind of keeping that in mind and trying to, for one thing, I like to use a lot of citrus fruits, and I think that they add a lot of flavor, they add a lot of punch, but without adding a lot of extra calories or extra fat. So those little things that you can find high impact ingredients with vinegars or with herbs and spices without adding the cream and the butter that's so good. But you can only have so much of that, and that should be kind of in more of a
sometimes food, like
exactly.
Cookie Monster is teaching us.
Absolutely.
Cookies are a sometimes food.
Right. So yeah, that's one of the things I do when I'm writing a menu, and I try to have something that'll accommodate most people or everybody. I love fish personally. I could eat fish 7 nights a week.
Right.
But you want to have something that people would enjoy, whether it's a grilled fish and then a sautéed fish. That sort of thing.
So, that's a real good example. Add citrus, add, the spices as opposed, the first thing I try to tell people when they're trying to change their diet is add something. The first thing shouldn't be take away your favorite thing because people panic. Oh no, that's my favorite thing. But adding something like citrus or adding something like, you're not going to use all the butter this time. You're going to use a little olive oil. It makes it livable for people.
Or maybe just ask for, if you're a big fan of maybe a more heavier in fat, salad dressing, maybe just ask for it on the side so that you can kind of eat it as you would.
Such good advice. Dipping it in as opposed to dumping it on.
Or having it dressed
that's my
for
next
you,
book right there. Dip it in, don't dump it on.
And sometimes making your own salad dressings as well. I mean, if you love creamy dressings, if you love ranch, you can use Greek yogurt. You can use alternative milks like an almond milk or a soy milk rather than using the heavy cream.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you because we're almost done, but I want to say the name of your restaurant.
Registry Bistro.
And your website for your restaurant.
Is www.registrybistro.com.
And Mancy's?
Yeah, Mancy's Italian at mancysitalianchef@gmail.com.
Perfect, we're going to email them. Thanks for watching and thanks for all your fantastic suggestions. Restaurant Week in Toledo.